Hey everybody, Jupiter is getting ready to move into Aries, so I just wanted to give you a brief, heads up, whatever, about what it will be like to have Jupiter in your sign. Okay, so Jupiter's currently in Pisces right now, and it'll move into Aries on May 10th, 2022. It retrogrades back into Pisces on October 28th, 2022, and stays there up until December 20th of 2022 when it moves back into Aries and stays there until May 16th of 2023, and then after that it moves into Taurus. Okay, so we'll cover Taurus then. So anyways, let's see here. First of all, I'd like to thank my subscribers for your continued support. If you're new to my channel and you like this video or any of my other videos, please subscribe and like and share it. Okay, and also check out my weekly and monthly forecasts, and usually, like in the description box below, I'm sure I'll include it in this one. There's a link there to something called Ask Me a Question, which is for people who only want to know maybe one or two things about their chart. But there's also a link there to my website where you can find out more information about chart services that I offer. Okay, so anyways, okay, so Aries, okay, Jupiter's going into your sign, obviously in your first house, right? We're assuming that everyone has the same rising sign as their sun sign. This is something we'll address at another time, okay? But anyway, so when you have Jupiter in your first house, usually, it's just to have coming from your 12th house of secrets and your subconscious mind and behind the scenes occurrences, just whatever. It's the house of solitude and the house of like doing things on your own and by yourself, and spending quality time with your own mind. Okay. But anyway, so having Jupiter there kind of reawakens your ability to literally dream even, okay? Because this is the house of dreaming, the 12th house. It's also the house of psychic ability, So right now, with Jupiter in Pisces, Neptune's also there at the same time. So I'd have to say that your psychic ability was even awakened before Jupiter hit this area, but it's really enhanced it even more so. Now that Jupiter is in your first house, first of all, Jupiter helped to clear away any kind of like fears or I don't want to say regrets, but more or less personal fears that you had, okay? Jupiter helps you to see the lighter side of things, okay? When it moves into your first house, it does really well, I believe, in your sign, because you're a fellow fire sign, and Sagittarius is ruled by this planet, a fellow fire sign. So this planet should actually, feel at home in your sign. But what Jupiter does is, wherever it's transiting, it does bring good fortune, okay? Good luck, it doesn't like burst out all over the place. You have to have other transits going on in your chart to really have that kind of an effect, okay? But in your first house, it does give you a very, or your first house or your sign even, it gives you a very optimistic outlook on everything. Things that you've always wanted to do, okay? You suddenly get the urge to do them. You pick up even totally new interests, but it expands. Jupiter expands your opportunities for new experiences, okay? Sometimes people learn something at this time that they've always wanted to know, no matter how ridiculous it may seem to them or even other people. They take up a new hobby even that they find is very appealing to them for a lot of different reasons. Maybe other people don't understand it, whatever, but it's your time to try a lot of new and different things, and usually do at least one thing that you've always wanted to do, Okay, sometimes it's something physical, like, you know, I always say bungee jumping or something like risk-taking of some kind. You know, you don't necessarily have to do that, but it is a time where you're feeling like kind of all-powerful, right? So, it could be something like that, or just, again, learning something on your own or actually taking a class. Travels usually indicated by Jupiter in your sign. A lot of times it's the trip of a lifetime, someplace you've always wanted to go to, because Jupiter does rule foreign countries and people. It could be something like that, a trip to a foreign country, or just long distance. Jupiter also just governs long distance. You could take up a language at this time, learn a new language or something or other, even a foreign language, but it could also be something like sign language or even Morse code, you know, or you could even take up like a ham radio, something like that. New forms of communication. But I always tell people, though, excuse me, that Jupiter usually spends at least 1 year in each zodiac sign, so it takes about 12 years to go through the entire zodiac before it gets back to you, right? So you'll have to think too. I don't have the list in front of me. Maybe I'll find that. Excuse me, and I'll put it in the description below. The last time Jupiter was in your sign, okay? But usually what happens is at least one really good person comes into your life at this time that becomes a good friend that you keep for like the rest of your life. You know, they're good for you. They enhance your personality. They bring out the best in you. In fact, they may be far more important to you than your current friends. You know, they may take the place of many other people. So, okay, so for Taurus. Okay, now you have to remember, Taurus, okay, that where you have Aries in your chart is your 12th house, so this is occurring behind the scenes. It's preparing you, though, for when Jupiter is moving into your sign on May 16th of 2023. So you really have stuff to look forward to, you know. You have really fantastic things happening because you have the planet Uranus in your sign also at the same time. These two planets will be in your sign transiting together. Everybody will be experiencing these two planets together wherever they have Taurus in their chart. But because it's in your first house or even just in your sign, you are getting more of the benefit of the unpredictability and sudden occurrences and surprises brought about by the planet Uranus and the planet Jupiter, just bringing so many wonderful, really good opportunities into your life. Okay, but we'll cover that like next year when Jupiter actually does move into your sign. But what I just wanted you to know, though, that you're being prepared with Jupiter in your 12th house. Any kind of fears that you had in your life about anything seem to like slip away. You know, it helps you in some way or other. Your 12th house is your house of like solitude, the subconscious mind. It's your dreams. It's the time that you spend alone by yourself doing things that only you can do. You know, you don't need other people with you to do it. It's like reading a book or watching movies or something like that. But the 12th house is also the house of some form of confinement, like people who are confined, let's say, to like a nursing home or something like that. You know, it's due to their health, or this is also the house of prisons. It's institutions of some kind, okay, where people are confined, but that doesn't necessarily mean that that's you. You could have more contact, though, with people in these situations at this time. It's a big house of charity, too, and that is why you would be in contact with someone, more than likely a family member that maybe you are helping out in some way while they are, let's say, in a nursing home, even if it's just to stop in and visit them, okay, or make sure that they know, you know, you're there, you do stuff for them, you go shopping for them, you call them on the phone, you do, you know, some little bit of running around for them or something like that. So it could be, you know, it could even be like a friend, you know, but if it ends up, you know, that it's like you know, there's people in your life that will help you. Maybe you're not aware of it, but kind of like all you have to do is ask. And also, though, having Jupiter here in your 12th house is help behind the scenes. That's what the 12th house also governs, is actions taken by you or someone else in secret or behind the scenes, okay? It doesn't necessarily have to be secret, but a lot of times it's just something that you're doing that you're not blabbing everywhere to everyone. However, you could be learning something at this time that that you've always wanted to know. You know, it doesn't necessarily have to be to enhance your career in any way, or even if you're retired or you don't work at all, you know, something that that like you or other people would look at as like a money maker. You're learning it to earn money, okay? That doesn't have to be so. You're just learning something that you've always wanted to know, that possibly, though, you may use personally when Jupiter moves into your first house. You know, it could be something, you know, that helps you in some way be more yourself. You know, it could be anything, though, but a lot of possibilities here. A lot of good luck, good fortune happening to you more or less behind the scenes. It's not like right out there, but it will be when Jupiter enters your sign next May, in May of 2023. Okay. So for Gemini, okay, where you have Jupiter in Aries in your chart is your 11th house of your friends and associates, where you would normally go to hang out, the people or group that you hang out in, any kind of organization that you belong to. This is your most sociable house. It's socializing in person, but it's also social media and socializing online. So you could even belong to a group online in some form of social media. This is also the house of dreams, hopes, and wishes, okay? A lot of times, just being out there and socializing with people, no matter what way, in person or online, is a little bit of a way of networking, but it, you know, it is a way to put you in touch with new people coming into your life that expand your horizons in some way or other. Okay, there's something maybe a little bit different about them. They have knowledge that you're interested in or may even need, you know, but they help you in some way. At least one person, new person, could come into your group of friends that really makes a difference to you, but it could be like to your whole group of friends. Maybe you needed a breath of fresh air, you know, or you needed some new place to go or something new to do, you know, because whatever you guys were doing was getting kind of stale, you know. So there's like new life being breathed into your group of friends, okay? Also, though, if you do have some kind of goal, this is a goal-oriented house, okay? So this could be a time where you actually meet people or join some kind of organization that helps you achieve something that you've always wanted to do. It doesn't have to be anything like real earth-shaking, you know? If you wanted to join some group that, I don't know, just did a little bit of travel here and there, you know, that's what you would do. Jupiter is the big travel planet, so you could even do something like with an organization or even a group of your friends. Take some kind of trip during this time, even if it's just like a one-time event that maybe you all get together, you know, to attend some kind of an event, like a show or something, a live show. Maybe somebody's touring, you know, whatever. It just really, really opens up your ability to bring new people into your life, new friends. They're beneficial to you in some way, even if it's the fact that they turn you on to like new and different things. Okay. So for Cancer, okay, where you have Aries in your chart is your 10th house of your public persona, your outer persona. This is your most public house in your chart. It's basically your career, but it's how you're known by reputation, professionally and personally. But it is your career. Okay, usually when Jupiter is here, is when you have some kind of promotion. Okay, Jupiter is just leaving your 9th house of higher learning and many, many other things. So sometimes wherever it is that you work, maybe you thought it was a good idea to go back to school and learn something or other or whatever. In your current position, it would give you a shot at a better position, a higher position within the company that you already work in. However, if you don't work at all or you're retired or something like that, there's still something maybe that you were interested in that possibly gives you a personal status of some kind that ups your level in some way or other. When Jupiter is in your 10th house, you are kind of like in the public eye a little bit for your past achievements even, or people that you rub elbows with even now. You know, they could be celebrity type people or important people. But, you know, just having Jupiter here, though, does give you this outer persona of being like, you know, a very successful person. Even if you don't feel that way, this is the way you're being viewed. That you know a lot of people, you know a lot of the right people. And, you know, again, if this is back to a career move or something or other, usually if you are promoted in some way or even get a completely new job at all, it may require travel. Jupiter's a big travel planet, right? Usually long distance travel or even foreign travel. So, you know, whatever new job you may get or new position at this time, it may require you to travel. Okay, Leo, I had to change my lipstick. I had pink on, but it was making me fade into this background. So, you know, whatever anyways. Okay. So for Leo, okay, where you have Aries in your chart is your 9th house. So this is where Jupiter will be. Jupiter is the natural ruler of the 9th house. Okay, this is the natural house of Sagittarius. And this house is big long distance communication and travel. This is the travel house. Okay, having Jupiter here, the big travel planet, usually means that you know, this is the year possibly that you decide to take that dream trip, that dream vacation. Jupiter ruling foreign anything, meaning maybe you'll go to a foreign country or just long distance. You could even go to some place where you have contact with another culture, okay? Maybe you're going on a retreat or something like that. Maybe you're going to some kind of spa thing or whatever. But you could be going to, you know, some place where you, I don't know, get in touch with your higher self. Okay, this house is the house of spirituality and religious beliefs. It's your philosophy on life, your outlook on life. A lot of times people learn certain things about other cultures and they adopt them into their everyday life for the rest of their life even. And we could even go to something as like simple as yoga, you know, to maybe, you know, changing or adding to your religious beliefs, okay, or you're just, you know, exploring many different things. You know, this is a very adventurous house, not just like physically wanting to be part of some kind of an adventure. You know, this could be like even going on, let's say, something it might seem kind of boring to some people, but maybe you go on like an archaeological dig, you know, something you're learning something and it's pretty neat at the same time, and there's the possibility of treasure, you know, finding something. So, you know, there's all different opportunities here, but this is also the house of publishing and media, too. This is a big internet house. If you don't already have like a website or a podcast or a YouTube channel, this may be the time that you do something like that. This is also in business. This is import and export kind of business, or business overseas, you know, or it's far reaching, you know. So, you know, Leo's all about style, you know. They do everything in style, very fashionable. Leos will, especially Leo women or people with a Leo moon or Leo rising sometimes, won't even leave the house without putting on makeup. You know, they would not let anyone see them, you know, in a whatever, at their best. They're always at their best. You know, supposedly in astrology, Taurus people are the ones that really live life to the fullest. And that's not true. It's not true. It's Leos. They use the good china every day, you know, or the good wine glasses. Expensive things aren't put aside and put away for safekeeping. They're used. They're used as they should be. Okay, so this really, you know, opens an awful lot of possibilities. Wherever Jupiter is transiting, it brings good fortune. Good fortune and opportunity to expand in that area, that house, whatever that house is, okay? So getting back to, you know, you being stylish and fashionable, maybe this is the time that you do start that website selling online, you know, your apparel, something that you do, that you create yourself. You could even just be like a, you know, facial makeup person, something with style. You know, I'd have to say something really out there. Anyway, as far as that's business, okay, now this is also the house of higher learning. Jupiter here makes learning at this time, a higher learning, we're talking about university, college, stuff like that. You don't really have to do that. You can learn something simply by like having someone show you how to do something, or you can go into like a formal thing of being like an apprentice or something like that, or you could actually take a class. Okay, your class could be online, doesn't have to be typical traditional classroom setting, you know, but could even be just something that you learn on your own. Okay, sometimes, you know, the Leos have been through a lot lately, just like their opposite sign of Aquarius. You may take up something like I don't know, tarot, astrology, even something on those lines, you know. Zen, get into it. TM even, you know, hasn't been around for a while, but I'm pretty sure someone still practices transcendental meditation, right? Let's see what else here. I'm trying to think. There's so many things with this house. It's really interesting. I have cats. I have cats interrupting me. Okay, well, anyways, you know what? I am going to cut this off here, and I'll move on to the next sign. Okay, so for Virgo, so where you have Aries in your chart is your 8th house of, it's a money house, okay? It's other people's money and resources. It's anything jointly that you own with someone else, like property or bank accounts or credit cards. But it is other people's resources, okay? This is the house of passive money, money coming to you through means other than earning it. This is through legal settlements, insurance payouts, refunds of some kind. Let's say money coming from a bank, the IRS, some financial institution, If you were trying to get a loan or an increase in your credit limit, like on your credit cards, this would be the time to do that, because these companies are more willing to work with you at this time. This is also the house of legacies and inheritances. So you may actually be on the receiving end of something or other from someone. Doesn't have to be family. It could be anyone that would like you to have something of theirs. And they don't even have to be dead in order for you to benefit. Okay, somebody could just decide to leave you something in a will. Okay, however, most people are pretty generous at this time when Jupiter is here. Most people are willing to let you use whatever it is that they have. Okay, so you may have access to a lot of different things. You know, this isn't just monetary. However, money's like the main thing. Money could come to you through many different ways as while this planet is here. Okay, this is the house of like winnings, gambling winnings, prize money of some kind, you know. So your chances increase of something like that happening to you as long as Jupiter is here. So I would have to say, you know, there are better times to gamble and stuff throughout the year. You know, you'll just have to keep up with your weekly or monthly forecast or something to find out when that is. But your ability to benefit from what other people have really increases at this time. People are pretty generous with you, sometimes even with their own time. You know, people are more willing to help you achieve something. You know, if you need help at this time, this is a really good time to ask, okay? This is also the house of rebirth and regeneration, meaning a new beginning in a lot of things. Okay, this is the natural, Scorpio is the natural ruler of this house, and a lot of times the story of the phoenix rising from the ashes, you know, is something that's associated with this house, because it's like a time sometimes where something ends and a new beginning comes from that. But there are no ending planets in this area, so you don't really have to stop something. You can add to whatever it is that you already have, and this means your personality, your whole like your spirit, you know, your outlook on a lot of different things. You could even be like really generous at this time too with whatever it is that you have. These are possessions. This could be your time. Lot of different possibilities here. Okay, but wherever Jupiter is transiting brings good luck, good fortune, and the opportunity to expand in that area. So you could accumulate even a lot of stuff. Maybe it's even like people just giving you furniture or clothes or something that are nice, you know, that you could use. It's not like they're being wasted, but that they're too good to, I don't know, not give them to someone who would really appreciate them. So you could accumulate an awful lot of stuff at this time. Okay. So, for Libra, where you have Jupiter in Aries in your chart is your 7th house. Aries is your opposite sign. And Jupiter in your 7th house of close relationships and partnerships. This is business and or romantic or a close friend. This is also the house of like any kind of specialist, like a lawyer though, doctors, stuff like that. But if you needed to consult anybody at this time, this would be a good time with Jupiter here. Jupiter does kind of govern the law in a way. You would probably get a lot of really good advice. You would be able to find a good lawyer or doctor or somebody that could help you in whatever profession they're in. This is also the house of competition as far as business goes, and also romantic. It's also the house of open enemies. Excuse me. And what that means is someone that you don't get along with, and everyone knows it. That's why it's open. Everybody knows it. Even the open enemy knows it. You two don't get along. You know, it could be lots of different reasons. Could be just like a little bit of a rivalry or competition in some way or other. It could just be outright you can't stand each other. Either way, when Jupiter is here, somebody that you feel this way about may approach you to try, with an olive branch kind of thing, you know, and want to end whatever it was, the animosity that was there between you two. So that's up to you to decide. You'll have other things going on in your chart, not just this one transit, okay? So, you know, take that with a grain of salt. A lot of times people take advantage of the fact that you're in a pretty good mood, and take advantage. That's the key phrase here. They may take advantage of you. So this is, you know, usually when Jupiter's here, it's a big indication of marriage, okay? Not everybody gets married when Jupiter is here. Sometimes they get proposed to, or they propose, though, you know, or they get engaged, or they make something definite, permanent, you know, as far as romance goes. Now, if this is business related, this is like a really good time to start a business, especially a business where you have a partnership, or you have other people helping you. They don't have to be like a equal partner, you know. It's just the people you're in business with, okay, that they work with you or for you or whatever, but it's still your business. However, you could form a business partnership at this time, and that actually works really well with this planet being here. It kind of, you know, wherever Jupiter is transiting, it brings good fortune and good luck, and opportunities to expand in whatever area it's transiting, which is your 7th house. So that's the thing, is there, you should have numerous opportunities for, let's say, romance, good decent people coming into your life, you know what I mean, meeting worthwhile partners in romance and in business and friendship that are worth the time of day for once, right? Okay, let me see here. Let's see, I can do one more before I go to the next. Okay, so for Scorpio, where you have Jupiter in your chart is your 6th house. That's where you have the sign of Aries. The 6th house is the workplace, the kind of work that you do, your co-workers, the very place or building where you work. It is your work schedule, and it's your regular everyday schedule, like your personal schedule. It's almost like your 3rd house schedule, but this is more personal, like your routine, your daily routine and stuff like that. Okay, it's also the house of health and the house of service. And this is the house of small pets. So, you know, with Jupiter being here, if you don't already have a cat or dog, or you know, ferret, or, you know, something, a gerbil or whatever it is, you know, that you might like, this may be the time that you get a new pet, or to add to your menagerie that you already have, right? If you have pets. So, you know, it's not a surprise if opportunities even for, you know, people to like give you pets at this time, or for them to show up on your doorstep, okay, and you take them in. As far as your health goes, it's usually really good when Jupiter is here, okay. If you were having any kind of problems, this would be the time where you would get, finally find a solution, or a doctor or somebody or other that can finally help you with whatever it was that was ailing you. You know, sometimes it's just nutrition, you know, changing your diet or something like that, so you don't even have to like go to a doctor. You could just learn on your own, even from, if you are having any kind of symptoms, what those symptoms, what could be causing them, and then you could find out it may be your diet, and you can actually go see a nutritionist and they could actually verify something like that. You know, if you were even developing allergies or something, this would be the time to take care of, or find out what it is that you're allergic to. Sometimes, though, people gain weight when this planet is here because it's the it's the biggest planet, right, in our solar system, and it does everything in a big way. So your zest for food and drink and fun and partying even is enhanced kind of here. You know, I mean, it is more so when it's in your fifth house of that big fun, that house of fun and partying. But, you know, when it moves in to your sixth house, it kind of continues in that area when it comes to food and drink. Okay, so you might want to watch your weight a little bit as far as the workplace goes. Usually you have somebody new come into the workplace, a coworker or a boss, okay? And if there is a new person, they're like a breath of fresh air. They work, they actually do their job, they help you in some way or other. They hold their own. But this is somebody that you may end up being friends with. You make a friend, a personal friend at work. And if it isn't a person, it is something new or different that the company you work for is doing, okay, that makes work a little bit easier to do, a little bit lighter. Maybe there's company policies that are changing for the better. You know, they're more easygoing. Maybe you didn't have flex time before, but now you do. You can wear jeans and a t-shirt, whereas you had to be dressed up before, even though nobody saw you. You know, if you worked in an office or something like that. If you work with the public, still same thing. You know, some kind of change or alteration taking there that makes your job a little bit easier or more interesting even. Or you could even just get like better equipment. If you work, you know, somewhere where, like in an office, let's say when you're on a computer, you could get software that's actually functional, you know, that is actually there for the kind of work that you do, and you don't have to skip through fields or records, you know, just to get to a certain place to enter information, because that's the way you've always done it. Because somebody sold your company just a package that they sell everybody, you know. Anyway, I would have to say, you know, as service, now we're getting to the service part here. I always say this is a 50-50 thing. This is someone really needs your help in some way or other. It could be anyone. Sometimes it's a family member, okay, where they need you to do something for them, and in return they'll do something for you. So you both benefit. It's a 50-50 thing. Now that's my idea of it. It doesn't always work out that way. Sometimes you have people leaning on you very heavily and they want you to do stuff for them for nothing, and you're not really getting anything out of it. You know, you're just helping someone, and sometimes it's an ongoing thing. It's not just a one-time shot here, you know. But this time with Jupiter here, if someone approaches you for that kind of setup, it could actually be beneficial for both of you. You know, it's like, excuse me, someone isn't going to try to take advantage of you, because maybe, though, they can't. Maybe whatever it is that they want you to do, they really can't take advantage of you. So you could really, you know, sit down and seriously think about it. It could be an arrangement that works out for you. Okay, so for Sagittarius, where you have Aries in your chart and Jupiter transiting, right, is your fifth house of romance and fun, speculation and gambling, any form of entertainment, like drama and dancing, and any kind of games and sports, anything to do with children or childish things even, you know, like visiting an amusement park, or spending more time with your children or anyone else's, or anything to do with children, okay, especially if you're a teacher, right? Also, creativity, okay, and let me see what else. Sports of any kind, okay? So, you know, having Jupiter here does, wherever it's transiting, brings about good fortune, good luck, and new opportunities to expand. It expands whatever house it's transiting in, right? So you should have more opportunities for, let's say, like romance, like more worthwhile people coming into your life that you would actually give the time of day to, whereas in the past you couldn't be bothered. Okay, so there may be, you know, kind of quality type people coming into your life that that just like weren't there before. Okay, so you may actually begin a romance at this time, or at least start, you know, dating or doing something. You know, that might not have been like the main goal on your mind for a long time, but now that this planet's there, you know, your interest may have peaked, you know, and you're like in the mood to get back out there, you know, whatever. Or maybe you're not. You know, this is also the house of creativity. This is another thing that would really pique your interest at this time, you know, especially if by nature you're creative anyways, but if you were already in the middle or you know, have started something or are ending a creative project, this will really, really give it a boost in some way or other. It will be a little bit different than what you would normally do. You know, you have to keep in mind that you have the planet Uranus transiting your 6th house. I'm about ready to, excuse me, sneeze. Okay, sorry about that. Anyways, Uranus in your 6th house of the workplace, the kind of work that you do, okay, has changed, or it is changing. So this could be a combination of those two things together. Whatever it is that you could be doing creatively, this could be writing something. You know, you still have Saturn, excuse me, in your 3rd house of the written word. This is your time to write that novel already, you know, or screenplay or something or other, you know, that you've been, it's on the back burner or you've always thought about it. So this would be the time to do that. Or if you are involved in any kind of, let's say, fashion or design or music or art of any kind, also filmmaking, film period, any form of art is opening up for you right now. You're already involved in it more or less anyways, but now this is really getting the incentive. This planet gives you the incentive to really pursue something like that, because it seems like things go a little bit more smoothly now that this planet's here, or people are more willing to acknowledge or show an interest in whatever it is that you're doing. This is also a good time to collaborate with someone if that's what you feel like doing. You know, other than that, you could still accomplish all of this on your own. You really don't need anyone else, okay? As for children, a lot of times this is when children come into your life, whether or not you're pregnant or, you know, you are adopting possibly a child, or for some reason you have more contact with a child or children. Okay, you could even begin possibly, let's say, dating someone that has children. You know, that you become a part of their life in some way or other. Also, if you already have children, though, you are more active in their life. Maybe you have time for them now for some reason or other. Maybe you didn't before. If they play sports of any kind, you're there. You know, you're a part. It may even be coaching or something or other, or at least if they dance or take part in anything creative, you know, you're there, even designing possibly their dance costumes or whatever, something like that. As far as gambling and speculation goes, that's something that you would normally do anyway, so I don't even have to tell you to do something like that. I know that you're gonna do it, period. So this is a time where opportunities, you know, are there. I don't see a big win or anything right now, you know, just by looking at just this planet being there. But You'll have to check out your weekly and monthly forecasts as we go along to find out when it's a better time to speculate, you know. And this is the house of fun, you know. This is the house of parties. You know, you may have not really been up for stuff like that lately, you know, but now that this planet's here, maybe you are. You know, maybe you feel like getting out there and actually seeing people, or attending a party or two, or possibly even throwing one yourself. But as far as fun goes, you could take up a new form of fun, a new form of recreation, you know, that you know, maybe it could be something you've always wanted to do. It could be something physical. A lot of times, if you Sagittarians are usually dancers, or they're physically active in some way or other. So if you didn't dance before, you might take that up now. This is something that you're more than likely carry into when Jupiter hits your 6th house of health, when it moves into Taurus. So whatever you're doing now, if it is something physical, it's something that you're doing it for fun, but it's going to be actually beneficial to your health somewhere down the way. Okay. So for Capricorn, where you have Aries in your chart is your 4th house of your home life. It's where you physically live, the home you live in. It's the property surrounding it. It's the apartment or wherever it is that you live, okay? It's also your family or the people you live with. If you have a roommate, or even if you live alone, it's still your family, okay, whether or not they're there with you. It's your personal life. This is your past and your childhood, but it's pretty much your personal life, you know, but a lot of times when Jupiter's here, you know, people possibly move to a larger home, or wherever it is that they already live. They're making changes within that area to make a space for something. Usually it could be another person. It could be a baby, a child, you know, coming to live with you. Or it could be something that... just like a work area that you're creating for yourself, and maybe you are now working from home, or even if you're retired, there's still something that you would like to do, and you need an area or space to do stuff like that, right? So this would be a time where you expand somewhere in your home. Also, you could be benefiting from some kind of family legacy. Okay, though this isn't the house of inheritances, you could actually get something at this time for your home. It could be a gift or something, but it could actually be a family heirloom that was passed down like through generations. And you know, that this could be something that is either given to you, or that you even possibly stumble across if you are living in a family home. A lot of time, this is buried treasure kind of stuff. You know, you could find out all kinds of things about your property or the home that, you know, dates back decades, maybe even a century. It depends on how old your home is. And, you know, it could be designated even like historical or something unique about your home. But when Jupiter's here, you know, you usually have a lot of pleasant time spent in your home. People gathering at your place, even if they didn't before. You know, it's like your home is open to not just neighbors, but like family, anyone, you know, that it could be people from your past, though, even coming back into your life. Could be childhood friends, or old schoolmates, you know, people you went to school with when you were a lot younger. But this like brings about a very nice, pleasant time within a home setting, in your home. You know, you get to enjoy your home, you get to enhance it in some way or other. Sometimes it's a time where you get upgrades to your home that makes the property more valuable. Okay. For Aquarius, where you have Aries in your chart is your 3rd house. This is where Jupiter will be transiting. The third house is your house of the everyday. Okay, it's the people and places you would normally see throughout the course of your day. Okay, so it's your neighbors, your neighborhood. It's places like the post office, the bank, the gas station, the grocery store, blah, blah, blah. Okay, this is also the house of your siblings and your cousins, old schoolmates. Okay, people from old neighborhoods where you used to live. And this is a big communication and travel house. This is the house of regular postal mail. Okay, email, text message, voicemail, any form of communication. But it's also the house of the written word. Okay, excuse me. You may even take up writing at this time. You may find yourself even if it's it could be a blog or a vlog, you know, because this is an internet house. It's a media house, but it is an internet house. So if you didn't have a website or a podcast or a YouTube channel or something like that, this may be the time that you actually get something, you create something like that. Okay, so you know, you could reach an awful lot of people with whatever you write at this time. Okay, also having Jupiter here, a lot of times a new business or something moves into your area that is very like beneficial, makes things easier for you and your neighbors, or something different going on in your neighborhood that enhances it in some way, that, I don't know, brings up your property value. Or if you live in an apartment, it's still something that's more convenient for you. This is a transportation house, though, too. So you could get a new car or something at this time, but if you don't even drive, getting around, it could be like a little bit easier for some reason or other. Either you've got someone ride sharing with you, or there's some form of transportation coming to your area that makes it easier for you to, you know, do stuff, get around, whatever. But your area could become like a lot more popular. Also, this is like a little bit more contact with siblings. You know, if you're not in contact with them that much now, you might be now. You know, when this transit hits here, you're doing little bit more with them in person, seeing them, and not just talking on the phone. Same thing like with your cousins. There could be quite a few gatherings going on. This is the time where you spend lunch. Maybe you don't go out to lunch all that often or have them for a while, but this could be like a regular thing with you and your neighbors, your siblings, but it could also be like your friends. Okay, but your ability to communicate is really enhanced by this this transit here. Okay, so if you had something really worthwhile to say that could possibly affect an awful lot of people, you know, you still have Saturn in your first house here, so you could write something at this time that is pretty profound, that affects a lot of people in a very positive way. So I just thought I'd let you know that, because, you know, you do have Pluto, I believe, is moving briefly into your sign in 2023. So before it actually moves in fully, like 2024 or 2025. So you've got lots of changes going on in your life. So you might seriously want to think about what I just said about writing something that's like very important. Okay, so for Pisces, where you have Aries in your chart is your second house. Okay, Jupiter's leaving your first house, going into your second house of earned income, how you earn your money, your possessions, your valuables, things that you own that are valuable. It's investments, whatever. But it's also your personal values. You'll get a, you know, Saturn will be moving soon enough into your first house, so you'll get a little bit of a taste of what that's like. And when Saturn moves into your second house, you'll really put a lot of things into motion as far as your self-worth. Okay, this is the house of self-worth. Having Jupiter here does you know, bring that all to light to your mind. You know, it makes you stand up for yourself. If you're not being treated the way you want to be treated, well, you're going to let people know about it, you know, because like I said, by the time Saturn moves here, which is like years from now, you'll probably have had people treating you the way that you want them to. But if you don't, when Saturn moves here, it'll be like do or die. You'll get rid of these people, okay? They're probably bothering you now as it is. So it's a good idea to really start thinking about how people treat you. And are you being too nice about it? A lot of times this is family. Family does this because they feel they can get away with it, right? They've known you since you were born, and they really get over, you know, on that very thing. A lot of times your friends treat you 10 times better than your family ever did, right? In fact, you consider some of your friends family and people that you're just are blood relatives. That's the only thing that you have in common, is that you're related to one another. Big deal, right? So it's something to consider, okay? Now, Jupiter here, wherever Jupiter is transiting, it brings in good fortune, good luck, and opportunity to expand in this area. So this being the house of earned income, obviously, you're looking for more money, right? You may get it from your job. If you're working somewhere now, you could get a raise, even though a career or whatever right now isn't highlighted in your chart, okay? A lot of times, though, people come up with a new source of income. You know, you've got money coming in some way or other. If you're retired, you still have to have money to live off of. So there could be investments possibly that you made in the past, or one that you're making right now that may not seem like a really big deal, but because you're making it during a Jupiter transit somewhere down the line, it could really, really pay off. And this is like buying stock for, like, you know, a couple bucks or something, and it turns out that this company or whatever just blossoms over like the next 10 years or so, and your stock is worth a hell of a lot of money, okay? That's what I mean. It's not an immediate return a lot of times with Jupiter here. A lot of times money goes out faster than it is coming in, but it's usually a 50-50 thing. It usually is equal and keeps up there. So you do have a steady flow of income somewhere or other. This is also the house of hidden talents. So if you know, there's obviously something about you that that you could do possibly that no one else can do. And this could even be something that goes all the way back to high school or grade school or something that was special about you. You know, could it be a hobby? A lot of times it's a hobby that you really loved, you know, but you never, I don't know, you either lost interest or they just didn't have time for it or something. But that could be like a real money maker right now. It could be something that you think of that, yeah, you know what, this could be like a little side venture or whatever. And maybe it could be something that a lot of people don't do. I was surprised myself to find out how much quilts and afghans are going for, like, online. Who knew, right? I'm talking about stuff like that. I'm sure you do other things, you know, a lot of other things, but there are a lot of things out there that you can't buy anywhere anymore. Even a service of some kind. People just don't, it's not there, you know, so you really might want to sit down and think about that. You could also be on the receiving end of a lot of nice things at this time. People could just want to give you stuff, but it's good quality stuff, okay? It is a little bit of an investment, but people want you to have these things, so they wouldn't be shoving them on you, right? But if you mention to someone that you like this or that, something that they have, I wouldn't be surprised if they just gave it to you, you know, because maybe they didn't have room for it, but they didn't want to get rid of it because it was too nice to get rid of. But if they find someone like you that will actually use it, they're going to give it to you. Okay, so that's basically the big thing here is just watch that money doesn't go out there. You're not spending money before it's coming in. You have a lot of possibilities for more money coming in, but you got to wait till you have it in your hands before you can do something with it, right? So it's not a good idea to speculate about money that is not in your hand just yet. Okay,